She went to grandma.
This episode of Capes and Lunatics is brought to you by Tweaked Audio. Get awesome headphones, go to tweakedaudio.com and use the coupon code Southgate to get 30% off, free shipping, and a lifetime warranty. Or you can get there through the link on our website, southgatemediagroup.com.
This is Luca Parrott, and you're listening to the Capes and Lunatics Podcast.
Diggity dang, it's time for the Nightwing news.
Yes, it is.
I'm gonna have to do some kind of mix between that and what you said. Anyway, but enough shop talk. Yes, welcome back to the Nightwing news, episode 49. I am Phil. Joining me as always.
Hello, I'm Kristen.
So dedicated. She's on vacation. She's still logging in.
That's right.
But we know only one thing could drag her away from vacation.
I'm here for Dick.
That's right.
All right. So yes. So tonight, whenever you're listening to this, we're discussing Nightwing's 26 through 30 from December 98 through April 99, and then Birds of Prey number 8, which I'll have to look at that because I have that digitally.
It's a good one.
If anyone wants to give me a good deal on a paper copy, please get a hold of me. All right. Yeah, I don't think there's much news. I know there's no Nightwing. I don't think there's any Nightwing issues coming out this week.
No, I think it's next week, right?
I'll have to look. I know there's I think Batman and Detective come out this week, but yeah, no Nightwing. I'll let you know if I see any Nightwing. Any issues. But, so we got a full agenda. So let's jump into these. Start with Nightwing 26. Like I said.
All right. Well, I guess we should say that 26, 27, 28, and 29 are like one arc, and then 30 is a one-off.
Yeah. But here's the synopsis for 26, Angle of Attack. Dudley Soames has finished his rehabilitation and thanks Dr. Pivar by killing her with his bare hands. Soames now uses mirror glasses to see what's in front of him, and he is eager for revenge. Meanwhile, Huntress is in Bloodhaven and takes down some thugs in a bar. Sounds like a joke. She leaves a message for a man called Turk Fremunda that she is looking for him. Fremunda controls one of Bloodhaven's unions, and after hearing about Huntress's threat, he gladly accepts Cisco Blaine's offer to quietly take care of her. And of course, we got our friend Tad is fully recovered from his gunshot wounds. He does not know that Nightwing took care of all of the medical costs. His doctor advises him to stay out of trouble, but it does not look as if Tad wants to stop being Nightwing, Nite.
That Tad guy was annoying.
He is.
He was kind of, I feel like Dixon could have done without inventing that guy.
Yeah. I don't know, it's just supposed to be like a running joke, but. And Dick Grayson is planning another date with Bridget Clancy, and they are getting ready to watch some movies in Bridget's apartment. As she prepares some popcorn, Dick watches news about a double murder, which looks like a typical mob execution. He leaves without a word before Bridget comes back to the living room. A little later, Dick breaks into the morgue. The victims are Dandy Clemencia, one of Fremunda's men, and Maynard Weaver, a union man from Gotham City. To be on the safe side, Dick leaves a spy cam to watch what the autopsy comes up with.
Dang, that's a really detailed synopsis.
I know. Thank you, DC fandom.
Yeah, dang. Well, I was going to say that I like that Huntress is still wearing it's the same outfit that she was wearing in the Nightwing Huntress miniseries.
Yeah.
I do like that outfit. I think it's snazzy, navy and purple, great color combination. It's also reasonably practical and useful for crime fighting. So,
I think that's why they updated the costume. They wanted something that was going to hang around for a while.
I know, but then not that many years later, didn't they make it sexier?
I know the one before was all showing all kinds of leg and cleavage, but I don't know, maybe. She's gone through a couple different outfits.
Well, one thing that was interesting about this arc I guess I would say, yeah, I didn't find it like too much to specify in the first one because it's just kind of setting it up, as you were saying. Is that even though they really only interact with each other in the last issue, I think.
Oh, Nightwing and Huntress.
Yeah, because
yeah, or maybe like the next to last even too. But yeah, a lot of it's just
yeah, I mean, most of the time they are both trying to solve the murder, but not working together. They're doing it independently.
So yeah. Any thoughts on this one before we get to the next one?
No, I think the synopsis summed it up pretty well.
Yeah, I mean, it's
I only took one picture about Turk Fremunda.
Yeah, it's basically just like a setup issue.
Yep. Okay, 27 it is.
All right, so this one, Live Not on Evil, Part 1. Dick Grayson is at home and watches the video footage sent from the morgue by his spy camera. After Bridget Clancy showed him exactly how bad she felt about him and his disappearing act during their last, she threw the popcorn at him.
Yeah.
Oh wait, here we go. Sorry, it kind of cut on me. Dick watches how the pathologist pulls out a piece of paper from the mouth of one of the victims. The word "tat-a-rat-tat" is written on that paper. Oracle tells him that the killer shot 145 slugs, all from the same gun, which gives Nightwing a clear indication which gun was used. Chief Redhorn visits Turk Fremunda on his yacht and tells him about the message found in the mouth of his dead associate. Fremunda promises Redhorn to take care of this problem without the need to inform Blockbuster about it. Nightwing visits a bar, again another joke, to get some information regarding Fremunda, but most guests are still shaken up by the beating they received from the Huntress. Dick finds it interesting that Helena is in Bloodhaven. Minutes after Dick left the bar, Dudley Soames enters and shoots down all the guests. He leaves the note, "Reb Milton's not limber." While Tad Ryderstad is looking to find the thugs who shot him, Huntress enters the apartment of Turk Fremunda, but Cisco Blaine is waiting for her and knocks her out with a taser. Nightwing does not have more success in catching Fremunda. He is able to stop his car and asks him about one of his guys meeting a Gotham contractor. But then Fremunda's girlfriend points a gun at Nightwing and he's forced to let them go. Cisco Blaine has Huntress all tied up to a chair. He actually wants to use Huntress to eliminate Fremunda so that he can take his place as puppet master of the unions. Huntress might take the deal, but she makes clear that she will try to take out Blaine as well. Suddenly, the two are interrupted by Dudley Soames, who now calls himself Torque.
Yeah, so a reminder for me and other people, who is Cisco Blaine? We've seen him before, right? He didn't just pop in on this comic.
I think he might have, unless he showed up earlier. I'm trying to remember. I don't know. I don't think they reveal it in this storyline, but wasn't he like undercover for somebody, either FBI or something?
Yes, that's right. I was gonna say because when I saw him, I was like, this guy feels familiar. Oh, okay, yeah. I think that's it.
Later
Yeah.
in Nightwing, but yeah, I think he's undercover.
Yes, because isn't Nightwing tied up at one point by somebody, and isn't Cisco the guy that helps him get out?
Maybe, or I think he's the one who's like, yeah, well, I don't think we need to kill the Huntress.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Well, so what I thought was pretty snazzy is in this one, number 27, Dick's talking to Oracle, and we have this cute picture of Oracle, and we see that she has a Batgirl toy in her in her office.
Yeah, that's shown up a couple times. So I don't know if that was just the same, if it was just Scott McDaniel stuff, but I remember it showing up other times too.
Yeah, it does. I think it's like a little joke. They see it, yes.
Oh, and look, they're both in their bathrobes.
Yep, exactly. They do normal things like take showers.
But they're both in sync. They like kind of took a shower at the same time.
Yep. But then Barbara's brushing her hair and Dick's making some kind of smoothie or something.
But I just love in the
something orange.
Yeah, I love in the bar, Dick just standing there looking all tough, but then all the guys are all beat up already because they're like, yeah, Huntress.
Yeah. Yeah. And Cisco Blaine tases her pretty intensely.
Yeah. I guess her suit isn't insulated like Batman and Nightwing's.
Well, I bet it will be going forward.
But I love when Dick stops what's his face, the boss, and the girlfriend points the gun out the window.
Yes. Yeah. Yep.
Little blonde, you better let him go. But yeah, now Soames is Torque, and has anyone got his thing yet? It's not riddles, but it's something.
Yes.
Creating a villain with a like a bat villain with their own little gag for Nightwing.
Yeah. Cute. But I mean, also just the whole thing of like his head is on backwards. It's freaky.
Mm-hmm. All right, you ready for the next one?
Yep.
All right, Nightwing 28 from February 1999. Live Not on Evil Part 2. Scroll the synopsis. Nightwing swings through the streets of Bloodhaven on his way to Turk Freemunda's apartment. There, he not only finds the murderer he is looking for, but also the Huntress, who just narrowly escapes the bullets shot by Dudley Soames, who's calling himself Torque now. Huntress works together with Cisco Blaine, and after Torque fled, she uses Blaine's taser on Nightwing. X's. The voice of Oracle wakes up Nightwing, and she tells him that the messages left by the killer are palindromes, i.e., they are spelled the same forwards and backwards. The message, Reb Milton's not limber, was a clue to the killer's next target, which was the Hammer and Trowel bar. Nightwing still does not know the killer's identity, but he is sure it is not Huntress. Also, a short conversation with Batman confirms that Turk Freemunda might have his eyes on the big reconstruction projects in Gotham City. Meanwhile, Freemunda picks up the Union president who is under his control. In his limousine, Freemunda pulls a gun and directs it towards Cisco Blaine. Obviously, Freemunda saw through the charade of his associate and brings him to a warehouse of a concrete factory. But not only Huntress followed him, but Nightwing and Torque arrived there a little later. Before Blaine gets killed, Huntress jumps into the warehouse.
Yes, the thing with Batman is the first page, and I like it. We see Dick at his little warehouse where he's messing with his car, taking the shell off of the police shell off and putting it in. Yep. He's kind of talking through things with Batman, but I like how he's talking, I think the guy might want to move in on Gotham. Batman saying, it might, be pointless because they might not be rebuilding the city. And then Dick kind of thinking out loud, so who's the insider with the Tommy gun? And Batman replies, it's your city. Aww.
But I just love Batman just like palindromes, and I thought riddles were bad.
Yeah. Well, no, Dick's saying that too, Batman. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Also, I love how they draw their computers. It looks like a portrait. It doesn't look like a computer at all. It looks like a big portrait of Nightwing hanging on the wall.
I know, but again, too, it's 1999, so it's probably running Windows 98 or something.
Oh yeah, I mean, look how tiny and crappy Dick's computer is. That's so small. Yep.
But yeah, so yeah, the unions are trying to get in there to rebuild Gotham after that big earthquake.
Yes, and then aside from all the stuff you talked about, I noticed it's different. And just as you said, you were like, Huntress is a high school teacher, and I was like, I swear it says she teaches third grade. Yes, we're both right. It said she taught third grade in that one we read. But yeah, here in this one, Dick's saying, Helena Bertinelli, full-time high school teacher, part-time gangbuster, and a former romantic interest of mine.
See, that's the thing. It's like the miniseries was written by Devin Grayson, and then this was written by Chuck Dixon. I think every time Dixon wrote her, he said she was a high school teacher. So,
okay, yeah.
So I think there was even like an early appearance of her, and she was teaming up with Tim, and I think she said she kind of, I don't know if she thought or she said something where she was like, oh yeah, I'm used to kids this age and stuff, and.
I mean, I don't know. I feel like a high school teacher does kind of make more sense. I don't know why. It just feels like. I don't know.
Well, you might see more stuff going down too, like drugs and.
Right. It's true. And then, Torque is taking aim at him. But don't worry.
But I love that cliffhanger on the last page is just Huntress breaking through the window.
Yep. And then we get to 29, which has one of those covers where they're outfits are strategically ripped.
Oh yeah, like if you look at the covers for 26 through 29, they progressively the costumes get on one he has her tied up. Well, they're both sitting there on 29 on 26 sitting there on 27.
26 are just chilling. Yeah, 27 Nightwing has Huntress tied up.
Yeah.
28 Huntress has Nightwing tied up.
Well, she tases them on 28.
Yeah.
And then
29 they're fighting together. But they're all ripped up.
Looks like they're getting attacked by bats or something.
It does, yes.
All right, so yes, Nightwing 29, March 1999, Back to Back to Back is the title. All right, so
I forgot that was the title.
I know. Huntress busts into Turk Freemunda's warehouse and prevents his bodyguard from killing Cisco Blaine, who initially wanted to double-cross his boss. Nightwing is there as well and helps Huntress fighting Freemunda's thugs. The situation gets more chaotic as Torque shows up as well, and then Nightwing and Huntress even kiss each other while hiding in a concrete ring. Woo. As Torque lights a fire to burn both Blaine and Mr. Dennis, who is the current Union president, Nightwing makes his move to save them, but he is a little too late and only able to get Blaine out of the fire alive. And because he is occupied, Torque catches Freemunda and shoots him with his machine gun. Nightwing cannot believe that the killer he was looking for from the beginning is former detective Dudley Soames. As he tries to evade the bullets, Huntress moves a large pile of concrete and buries Soames beneath it, while Nightwing was able to get away in the last second. As always, he is not fond of Huntress's methods. Helena hurt her ankle, though, so Nightwing has to carry her away from the concrete factory because Blockbuster has sent a kill team for cleanup. Nightwing and Huntress do not realize that Torque is still alive and is taking care of the kill team himself. In Dick's car, they talk about their relationship. Nightwing thinks that Huntress is not fighting for justice, but for revenge, and he does not want to get involved in her dark ways anymore. It was in quotes, dark ways.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I just feel that this is just not. This is where this Nightwing Huntress thing, I don't want to say goes off the rails, but it's just not. I don't know. I just don't. There were some weirdnesses in the Nightwing Huntress, because when it was you basically had sex with your dad. That was weird. But I feel like it was better written and was more nuanced and layered in the Nightwing Huntress miniseries, and in Nightwing, it's just awkward.
I just think I don't know if it was just Dixon's way of saying, yeah, this is why it'll never work, because they're, Yeah,
and part of me is are they kissing each other or is she kissing him?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I took it as maybe she's kissing him, but he's not fighting it.
Yeah, I guess so, because he's kind of got his hands behind her. I don't know. But yeah, that's what I could have done without them having that kiss, because I felt like everything was nicely wrapped up in the Nightwing Huntress miniseries, so they didn't need to have them kiss again, because Huntress was like, you know what, it's fine. I don't want us to have a relationship, and Dick was okay with that. So I was like, why are they kissing again? It's like they're just trying to...
I almost took it too as there was danger all around. The adrenaline was pumping for both of them. I just,
I guess, but...
And I think it lends more to the whole conversation at the end where he's just like, yeah, it's not going to work. You're too dark. And
no, yeah, I get it. But also, I don't know.
I know.
I also still feel like it's weird, and it kind of would have been better if they had just never done this attempt at a relationship in either the Nightwing Huntress miniseries or here, because it just seems weird and forced.
I mean, unless Devin wanted to do it, and then Chuck Dixon was just like, no, this isn't happening.
Yeah, but if he wanted to be like, no, it isn't happening, then why did he keep talking about it?
I don't know. Maybe people were saying, oh, why not Huntress? It's Chuck Dixon was like, Clancy or Barbara? You're not getting a third choice.
Who knows?
I know.
Okay, yeah, saving Helena. Yes, then he's again trying to talk her down. I won't let them win by becoming one of them. She's all like, no, you have to play by the rules to defeat them. And he's like, So yeah, I think this is why it annoys me. Because this one, the ending in this is very different from, it's like the opposite kind of what happened in the Nightwing Huntress miniseries. Like in the end, Autumn's history, and she says, "And what about us? Do you see a future there?" And it's like, I used to think I'd spend my life wondering what you and I would be like. Now it's if I knew then what I know now situation. I wouldn't have come within 10 city blocks of you.
Ooh.
It's like, that's so different. I mean, it's weird. It's so different. And maybe the thing is for me that bugs me, it isn't so much what Dick is saying, it's what Huntress is saying. Because at the end of the Nightwing Huntress miniseries, she was more than okay with them not being together. I mean, when he brought her flowers, she was like, these flowers aren't a way to get back into a relationship. I mean, that was the subtext, was like, you're not giving me flowers to try to get into a relationship, right? And he was like, oh. And then why does in here, she's like, what about us? Like the Huntress from the miniseries would never have asked, what about us? Because she was the one that put the nail in the coffin of us to begin with.
I mean, honestly, I just think it's because different writers, but I don't know. I try to explain it away. It's just like, Dick was like, okay, I moved on. And I guess, I don't know, between Bridget and Barbara, he realized that he doesn't like, someone that's so dark as Helena. And he likes women whose names that start with B, I guess.
That could be, but it also, I feel like it doesn't even have to be, I found other women that I like better. He could just be like, yeah, Helena, you're too dark for me, and I don't want to be in that. So I feel like for him, since he was kind of, oh, let's talk about this, and she's like, no, we're not going to be in a relationship. I release you. I can understand him saying, now I really wouldn't want to be in a relationship with you because you're too dark for me. Yeah. So that kind of makes sense. But I feel like Helena asking, what about us, doesn't make sense.
I don't know if because time has passed and I don't want to sound too clinical or, unemotional, but maybe Dick is just like, Dick has options. Helena, basically, she's out there by herself. She doesn't have a bad family. She doesn't have any other romantic prospects. It's basically just her.
I know. But.
And how can you say no to that but? Come on.
But that's why it's tedious, because she was in control and wasn't. I guess it bugs me because it makes it seem like, oh, now I've been pining after you. And the Helena at the end of Nightwing Huntress miniseries was not pining after him. She was like, I'm in control. I know what's up. I know what I want out of my life. And now she's like, what about this?
Unless it's more mind game, because she kind of said in that miniseries that, I was trying to get in with the bad family, kind of.
Perhaps.
Because, we see examples of her trying to get in there because, like, even at the beginning of Nightfall, there's, like, or No Man's Land, we see, spoilers because we're not getting there, but, there's a new Batgirl running around, and before Cassandra takes over, it's Helena in that suit because Batman's disappeared and she tries to be the Bat,
Right, yeah.
Tries to hold it together for Bruce.
I guess it's just the typical problem of characters being written by so many different. It just feels a little bit not consistent. I don't know.
Yeah, it just. I think that's the major thing. I think it's just too many cooks in the kitchen.
Yeah. Fair enough.
All right.
And I suppose it's like that typical sort of, we never have enough. No, it's always the big thing with comic books is the illusion of change, not actual change. Mm-hmm. It's like basically what Nightwing and Helena and Huntress went through in the miniseries is kind of the exact same thing that they went through in 26 through 29. The whole sort of, Helena, we're doing something with mob stuff. Don't be too violent.
Yeah.
She ends up not being too violent. She doesn't kill anyone, but,
I don't know if Chuck Dixon just wanted the right Dick as, like, this ladies' man who has to beat him off with a stick,
Maybe.
That animal magnetism.
Oh, brother. All right, let's move on to Superman.
All right, yes. Nightwing number 30 from April 1999. Just passing through.
That one's more fun. That one's more fun.
This is fun, yes, because
Yes.
Nightwing just handles a vanjacking when surprisingly Superman arrives to help him out. Superman accompanies Nightwing on patrol. Chief Redhorn holds a press conference talking about his action to handle all Gotham refugees coming to Bloodhaven. But when the reporters see Superman flying by the police headquarters, Redhorn is no longer in the spotlight. Superman and Nightwing arrive at the Zephyr Moore housing project. The property has a new owner, and a lawyer tells the Gotham refugees that they have to leave the area until next morning. Superman blows away the lawyer's paperwork. Yes, he literally blows away to buy the people.
Yeah, that's the best part.
But Nightwing wants to solve the problem at its root. He knows that the company which bought the premises belongs to Blockbuster. So Superman and Nightwing pay the criminal boss a visit. They convince him to leave the refugees alone. Otherwise, Superman would come to Bloodhaven more often and interfere in Blockbuster's other businesses. After leaving, Superman tells Dick that Blockbuster has an enlarged heart and might not live another year. When Superman flies out of Bloodhaven, Dick thinks about the distrust Batman has for Superman because he is not from Earth. But in Dick's eyes, Superman is more human than anyone else. Meanwhile, Nightwing plans his revenge on the thugs who shot him. Wah, wah. All right.
That again is really very detailed. Yes,
Yeah.
but it's fun. He thwarts the van jacking, and then yes, Superman shows up, and he grabs the guys by the ankle, and Dick says, "Oh, sure, you saved them," and he says, "I knew you knew how to take the fall."
Yeah. That's right. I just loved it. Like, yeah, this book is just so fun between, Superman blowing the lawyer away, and then like when they go to confront Blockbuster takes, I don't know why he thinks this is a good idea. It takes a swing at Superman, and Superman just catches the fist.
Well, I guess that's what happens when you're a supervillain. You think you could take on anyone.
I guess, but I thought he had to.
You have super hubris.
I know, but you just see like Dick grinning in the background, be like, "Hey,
I know.
what's up?"
Yeah, this one's funny because Superman's like, "All right, let's go on patrol." So
I know. I love when Dick asks him. He's like, what does that feel like flying? And then he's like, it's second nature now, but it took some getting used to. And Dick's like, I'll bet.
yeah, they're flying through. You hear something, yes, and then they get down there. And you have an intense Nightwing butt shot when they're... Because Superman is just sort of lowering himself down there, and Dick is kind of jumping.
I know, Dick's like, almost like in a Spider-Man pose, like swinging down to the street.
Yeah. And then, yes, Superman pops up,
blows away the
blows
lawyer.
the lawyer's papers away. It was great. And then this picture is so hilarious.
I know.
The one at the bottom where Superman's high-fiving people, and Dick's standing there just doing like finger guns, like, yes, a little smirk. Superman, that should buy you folks a few days. Nightwing says, very nice, but they will be back. And one of the kind of spokesman for the person at the Z-More says, let them come. That was worth it, man. So yeah, it's just so funny the way the kids are. Superman, high fives, Nightwing.
Yeah.
That's probably my favorite panel in the whole comic book because it's so hilarious.
But yeah, the synopsis was just like very general. But yeah, like Dick's like, yeah, there's a bunch of shell corporations, and at the top, yeah, it's owned by Blockbuster.
Mm-hmm. And then doesn't Blockbuster, when he's getting out of his pool, look a little bit like he's coming out of a Lazarus pit?
Something, yeah.
It's all like dripping off him.
Yeah, because you see some bubbles and like, I don't know if that's supposed to be steam, but yeah, it looks like a Lazarus pit.
No. And then Cisco Blaine is talking to him.
Yeah, telling him about how Nightwing and Huntress lasted a couple issues, yeah.
They bust in and
I love Dick comes swinging in. He's like, did I drop it in a bad time? And like all the bodyguards like start pulling guns, and then Superman just like, ahem.
Yeah. Hey, losers, I'm here. Yeah, and then when the one where he grabs the picture where he grabs the fist, like you said, it's like radiating. Yeah. hot pink radiating out. Don't start when you can't finish.
But no, I just love when Superman's standing there talking to Blockbuster. The bodyguards are just like, "Ooh," they look sick. They're just like, oh.
Yeah, yeah. That's funny. Nightwing chow rolling. Yeah, and then he reveals Blockbuster has an enlarged heart. But Blockbuster lives actually a while longer.
Yeah, because he starts looking for replacements. I know, like, the doctor's like, oh, yeah, we can, we're looking for something big enough. And I think they mentioned, like, a pig or a swine heart. And he's like, I'm not going to have, like, a pig's heart. So I think they come up with, like, a mechanical heart or something.
Mm-hmm. Although I think, if I remember right, because I think we're skipping over kind of a fair number of issues because we got to keep moving. But it doesn't Dixon kind of tie it up with Blockbuster, and then Blockbuster comes back because when Devin Grayson was writing, she brought him back.
Well, yeah, because I think he ties up the heart thing. I think the whole thing with Blockbuster's mother, the accident, I think happens in Dixon's run, and then Devin brings it back, as we'll get to.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that might be. But yeah, I felt like it was kind of a little bit like a bow put. Like you could have. Yes, he left it open for Blockbuster, but you didn't have to bring Blockbuster back.
Yeah.
I feel like. Yeah. He was like kind of tied up. Yep. So then Superman moves on. Yep. And Dick says, Superman may be the most human I've ever met. And I think that's true. But it's still weird to me that he says the flying bit still freaks me, though. Really? That seems weird. I feel like it wouldn't freak Dick out. I feel like it would make him jealous.
I mean, that's always like people are like, oh, it's so weird, the flying stuff.
Yeah, I feel like Dick wouldn't be the kind of person that was weirded out by the flying.
Yeah, I would. I mean, if anything, I would think Dick was jealous, just because he's such an acrobat.
Exactly.
So, do we want to get to the last one?
Heck yeah! Oh yeah, there the Barbara's little plushie pops up in there too.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, I really like this one. Obviously, I think everyone kind of likes Nightwing and Birds of Prey, but I think I particularly like it because I do like Greg Land's art. He was the same one that did the Nightwing Huntress one, and I guess I kind of like his somewhat more realistic style.
Yeah,
it's definitely a very different style from Scott McDaniel, and I think I like it better. I don't know,
yeah,
it just works better for me.
Yeah, Greg Land's done a bunch of stuff, even over at Marvel and stuff. Yeah, it's really, I really like his style.
And I feel like I also like it because it's detailed, but not too detailed.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And again, it's written by Chuck Dixon, so at least Dick's like basically has the same voice as he does in his own book.
Yep.
All right. But yes, Birds of Prey, number 8, volume 1, number 8. Yes, that one. From August 1999, On Wings. Sounds like a song. But yes. This is funny. Black Canary unexpectedly hears a man's voice, Nightwing's, when calling in the Oracle, something that's never happened before. He won't tell her his name for now, but says that Babs is occupied. When Black Canary asks if the mystery man and Babs are friends or more than friends, he isn't sure what to tell her because he's not even so sure since their last get-together. So get ready for the flashback. Not long ago, Dick Grayson, not Nightwing, met Barbara Gordon, not Oracle, at a Bloodhaven restaurant for something they both specifically defined as not a date. After leaving the restaurant, Dick surprised her with a trip to Haley Circus, stopping over in Bloodhaven, where he delighted in seeing her laugh. When he asked what she thinks of his circus, she notes that clowns are not her favorite thing, making him squirm until she reveals she's joking. On the fairway, they bump into Harry Haley, the man running the circus, who tells them that they played a half-empty house in Ivy Town and that one of the elephants has been sick. After he leaves, Barbara asks if Dick. Barbara asks if I don't know if they. Typo. Barbara asks Dick if it ever hurts to come back to the circus, the same place he saw his parents killed. He says maybe it should, and maybe he's at peace with his demons. And since their killer met with the ultimate fate and he's kept the circus open as a tribute to them, Barbara says that's the difference between her, him, and Bruce. Barbara talks about people wanting closure after a tragedy, but her wanting and still wanting revenge, then apologizes for ranting. When Dick tells her it's good to talk, she says the bat guys seem to want her to hold on to the past because they can't get over it and don't realize she has, and tells him her new life fulfills her. He asks what she, as Barbara, not Oracle or Batgirl, misses the most, and she talks about swinging from the ropes, a specific moment that felt like being on wings. Get it? Shocking him that it would be something that physical, and he asks her to follow him so they can go flying. Taking her into an empty tent, he carries her to the trapeze and swings with her. After a while, he leaves her on her own, climbing to the other side of the trapeze to do a flying transfer. She's originally apprehensive, but he talks her into it and catches her, and they kiss afterwards. Walking her back to her truck, Dick mentioned that he'd like to keep seeing her, but she says she can't. He asks why she'll trust her life in his hands 100 feet off the ground, but she is afraid on a date, to which she replies that it's always been more than a date with them. Back in the present, Black Canary tries to get more out of the mystery man than they used to date, but can't, and decides they must be close since they clam up the same way. When Oracle enters, Nightwing disconnects, as does Black Canary, having guessed who he is.
Boom.
Boom. But yes, it's so weird the cover, because they even mentioned in the synopsis, on the cover it says Nightwing ignites the birds of prey.
Yeah, that's what the cover says.
Except for a phone call, the only bird in here is Barbara. I guess they wanted to use the logo. I don't know. But I love
yeah, that's true.
But I love this. I love the cover. Again, it's like a Greg Land cover, but I love that Dick and Barbara cover.
Yeah, it's really good.
I always see it all over the place. It's fit.
Yeah, it's become very famous.
Oh yeah.
In certain circles.
Yes. So come on. I know you got thoughts on this one.
Oh yeah, of course. So yeah, I dig it.
Oh, but they dress up this cover because he's in costume, and she's not wearing a mask, but that looks like a Batgirl costume because it's got the bat on the chest.
Right. Yeah. They definitely do it like Nightwing and Batgirl on the cover. I thought it was kind of funny when she's like, "I'm not really a fan of clowns," and he's like, "Oh crap," and she's like, just kidding, just messing with you. I was like, I thought that was funny.
I love the start of their date at the restaurant, and Barbara's like, "Do you come here a lot? The coffee's terrible." He's like, "Yeah, but they have access to the roof."
Yeah, because that's how we got there. He was like, Nightwinging over and then changing his clothes.
Yeah, because traffic was terrible. Yeah, so he just swung over. And then they go to
that's funny. And how she's like, your circus is corny. Because, that's like part of the joy of the circus is that it's corny.
There's like a confetti bomb, and he says we were using cooked pasta in the bomb.
Yes.
But yeah, I was gonna say not a lot of action, but not the kind of punching people in the face, but character. Yep. And then when Mr. Haley is like, Jumbelina's been sick, and she's like, sorry to hear that. Jumbelina's a full-grown Indian elephant. Even more sorry. I was like, ew. But the whole thing with like Barbara, she's still angry. Well, why shouldn't she be? The Joker paralyzed her, which is bad enough, but the Joker also kidnapped their dad and tortured him too.
Yeah.
So it's like, it's not just her.
Well, and I feel like, isn't it kind of implied in the Killing Joke that Joker rapes her? But don't they kind of didn't they kind of scale back on that in subsequent stories?
They never address it, and they kind of use angles, but it's pretty much implied. He strips her naked, so he at least strips her naked and takes pictures to show Gordon later.
Yeah, I feel like maybe part of the stuff with that was because I mean Alan Moore was being pretty intense when he did the Killing Joke. Was that maybe when part of me wonders if because I think maybe he kind of thought like this is it, we're done with the character of Barbara Gordon, and then when I'm forgetting their names, they revived her as Oracle in Suicide Squad. Maybe later writers were like, you know what, that feels like too much for him to do all of those things to her. Because I feel like they never really mention it. And I guess I'm hoping that they don't mention it, not because they just have such a terrible way of dealing with anyone's rape, but that they don't mention it because we're pretending that she was just paralyzed by Joker, that she wasn't raped by him too.
Yeah, they never mention it. I mean, so hopefully they just keep it out. But yeah, I mean, they pretty much show that he strips her naked and takes pictures. The show Gordon, because that's the whole thing. Because like you kind of get flashes of a supposed Joker origin in it, and it's basically Joker's like trying to break Gordon to say, "See, all it takes is one bad day, and you'll snap just like I did."
Yeah. Yeah.
But yes,
yes, I think it's very. So then they kind of give you, you know, like the quick breakdown of how so much stuff was taken from me, and that's what she wants.
Oh yeah, but it just that trapeze shot is just like beautiful also.
Yeah, he says flying. Yeah, which my only thing is why is he basically wearing his Nightwing suit? Come on, dude.
I mean, it is his circus. I'm sure he's like, yeah, you know, no one's coming into that tent. Even if he says, yeah, you know, I'm sure, you know, he's telling the people, yeah, don't come in. I got a girl in there. So they're thinking, you know, they're getting hot and heavy, but
I know, but it still seems a little not that smart.
True.
But whatever. I'll say, okay, so
wait a minute. I mean, she seems like, I mean, maybe because, you know, she's in the superhero business, but she seems to have like workout gear, but it's like, she didn't know they were going to do that. Did he bring her a suit or?
I know. Yeah. I don't know. Like where is these clothes coming from?
I mean, he had like a gym bag. He could have had it, but I was just, that's weird. It's like, here, put this on.
Yeah. I mean, he did. Yeah. And so then I think it's kind of funny that he's like, you can do it. You got it. And she's like, all right, we're even. She gets kind of mad at him.
Yeah, she's like, okay, I know. She's like, you know, I broke your stones. Now you're breaking mine. We're even. He's like, no, come on. Yes.
And then she jumps out for the trapeze. He's like, you still have it, Babs. I do, don't I?
And then it's very subtle because it's like they never show. I mean, they show them getting closer and closer, but they never show the lips actually making contact.
Yeah, maybe they don't actually kiss. Maybe they're just super duper almost kissing.
I mean,
but then, yeah, he's like, it doesn't have to be isolated. And she says, I can't. You're afraid of a date. And she's saying, you know why? It's always more than a date. It always has been. You know why I don't have handles on my chair, Grayson? I don't like to be pushed.
Yeah.
He's getting for tonight. But then I like you saying, I feel bad for myself. Mostly I feel bad for her. So damn proud. And she has every right to be. She's gone through so much, but there's a part of her heart she keeps locked up. And I feel like that does kind of work. Because sometimes I think that's the biggest thing is I feel as though the Dick and Barbara relationship makes, particularly now that Dick is more in the Batman fold, makes more sense.
Oh, yeah.
And it seems like a smarter relationship. But I think that overall, the Dick and Corey relationship was written much better. And that the Dick and Corey relationship had this period where it was just a really good, fun, nice relationship. And unfortunately, when I go back through and read the comics, it feels like so many of the, I mean, not as much counting this one, but so many of the issues where Dick and Barbara are together, they don't show them just being fun in a relationship the way they did with Dick and Corey. It's always like, oh, we were, but then this thing happens, and now we have to have this long disquisition about how Barbara's always like, I can't be with you because you always see me as how I was in the past, which I don't think is true.
Yeah.
So I don't know. That's my thing. Is I feel like Dick and Barbara is a relationship I prefer, but if I want to read a comic and see Dick being portrayed in a good relationship, I'm more likely to read a new Teen Titans comic because that relationship is portrayed in a less fraught way. What do you think, Phil?
Well, I think Corey gave herself fully to the relationship right away. Like, but yeah, Babs was just really walled off and like very hesitant, for a long time.
Yes.
She was either, you see me the way I used to be, or, I'm in this chair, and he, Dick's like, I don't care about that.
Right. Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, it's just, I don't know if it's just too much history between them, but
I just feel like it wasn't, and this isn't a specific, it was several authors, actually. I feel like it wasn't always as well written as it could have been.
And again, in the heyday when Dick and Corey were together, it was basically just one writer on the Titans book. So, it was just Marv Wolfman. Again, at this point, when him and Babs are dating, it's Dixon, and then Devin Grayson comes in, and then if they're in any of the Batman books, there's writers over there.
Yeah, and I guess it's not that every time they're together, it's poorly written. I guess it was just, maybe what I mean is it was just written with so much more angst than his relationship with Corey was written. So it's not always as much fun to read.
And then like when Devin comes on, eventually, she wants him to leave Bloodhaven for a while. So it's like you kind of have to break those two up. And then it's like, they were going to kill, the Dido. He was going to kill him off in Infinite Crisis. So, they had him propose, but then he lived. So they're like, they had to break that up. And
right. Yeah.
And then, they had him acting Jason, like, so it was supposed to be Jason in that suit when Dick died.
Okay. That does kind of help make sense why it was weird, and we had tentacle monsters for a hot minute in 1 year later. But yeah, I guess that's my thing. Is it's just when I read Dick and Barbara. I mean, when they did the convergence or whatever, that Nightwing Oracle convergence, that was a fun issue. But I don't know, so many of what was written when they were actually together. Number one, I think in real people years, Dick and Corey were together much longer. Yeah. And there's definitely plenty of angsty Dick and Corey issues when Corey goes back and has to get married and stuff. But in many of the early issues, Dick and Corey were just together, and it was just a sort of incidental thing to the Teen Titans. And so you would just see at the end of a issue, Dick and Corey are like, we're going on a date. Or he would just be like, oh, how you doing, my love? Or just like a little kind of cute thing that just made it seem like their relationship was easy and not fraught. But everything, I don't know, I guess it was the 90s and they were in the Bat book, so everything had to be like, angsty.
Exactly.
There had to be a lot of brooding or whatever over it. Because, too often I feel like the writers were writing Dick kind of being goofy. I don't want to say goofy, but doing things that didn't necessarily fit. That it was like, he knows Barbara better than this. Why would he do something that silly? Or they were writing Barbara just like willfully sabotaging their relationship. She's like, you just can't see me for who I am. And I'm like, it feels like that's what they're having you do. Like, why are they?
It's just, I think, the characters are, all these characters, a lot of the Marvel and DC characters are just at the mercy of, they've been around so long, and then they never want these characters to age too much. So they either want to like slow stuff down or like de-age them and stuff. So then all of a sudden, people acting all out of character or just stupid.
Yeah, because it was, I guess, I don't know, maybe it was different when it was in the 80s and the New Teen Titans, but Marv Wolfman and George Perez, they seemed to write Dick and Corey as a sort of fun relationship that's happening, and they're just, like in the moment. I mean, it took a way longer time. It took like 10 real people years for Dick to ever finally propose to Corey.
Exactly.
And it almost seems like from the start when they were writing Dick and Barbara, they were trying to sow like, here's all the things we can use to break them up later, because because like we know we can't have nice things and they won't ultimately always be together.
I like that. We can't have nice things.
That's what it felt like. So that's my thing, because I love, just like pretty much everybody else, I love Dick and Barbara together, but I feel like the issues where they're together are not as fun as some of the issues. I don't know. It feels like I don't know. It almost feels like they were meant. Some of the writers were writing it with the idea in mind that they are eventually not going to be together, because that's how comic works. And so,
I mean, if I had my pick, I mean, I would put those two together, Dick and Barbara.
Sure.
And I know, Batman's too big of a name to get married. Like I said, marry off Dick and Barbara. Come on.
Yeah, it would totally.
I mean,
totally work.
Back to being Batgirl. It's like, that'd be a big thing. That'd be a big
Right,
headline.
yeah.
You want to push some units, people. Nightwing and Batgirl get married.
And it was almost like back in the 70s when they had, the Batman family and they were a little bit flirty. That was kind of like the easy relationship. And then 90s and early 2000s, they had to get it a little.
Well, yeah.
I mean, there are some issues, like in the. Like some in Batman Gotham Knights, where I feel like the Dick and Barbara relationship is easier, but it seems like the ones that most stick out in my head are the ones where something is going wrong and they're angsting over each other, and then having to have like long leaving long answering machine messages or something. Isn't there an issue where that happens?
I think, or is there one where he writes her, or they write a letter to each other or something?
Yeah. I mean, there are some that are cute early on, but I don't know. It just got angsty way faster than the Dick and Corey one did.
Well, the annual, that annual where they explain why they're not engaged anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a letter in there. I know that.
Yeah. Well, that annual's annoying for.
Well, yeah, because they have to clean
several reasons.
they had to clean up so much stuff with that. Yeah. All right. Anything else on these?
No, we're good. Birds of Prey 8's a good one.
Oh, yeah. Definitely. But yes, so next episode will be our big 50th episode.
Ooh, and what's happening in episode 50, Phil?
We'll be talking Batman Gotham Knights 8, 9, 10, and 11.
Yes.
Yes. Big Nightwing things going on. Hugo Strange.
Oh, yeah. Which, fun fact, Hugo Strange is actually one of the few recurring Batman villains that's older than Robin.
Oh, that's right. I thought I heard that.
Yeah. Hugo Strange appeared a couple of issues before Robin. Oh, and I think it might I'd have to double check, but I think one of the issues, one of the stories, I should say, in Batman #1 is like the Batman Hugo Strange part of the story that was going to be in Detective 38, but then they decided to introduce Robin instead.
Okay. Yeah, because I know he appeared around that time. Then I think he didn't appear again until the 70s or something.
Yeah, because in Batman #1, there's 4 stories, because that was the thing. Batman came out 4 times a year, and there were always 4 stories in it. 3 of the stories have Robin, and then there's one that's like the holdover from before the event that's just a Batman one. And I think it might be Hugo Strange. But anyway, I know Hugo Strange was in there.
Oh, yeah.
But he's like the only recurring, because Bit was just random mobsters, and then some sort of like monk/vampire character was in.
I know. All right. So, ready to get out of here?
Yep.
All right. Let you get back to your vacation. All right,
That's
everyone. Right. Yes. Send your thoughts on Nightwing, Huntress, Oracle, or hey, the upcoming Batman Gotham Knights. We're doing a bunch of those issues. So email us, capesandlunatics@gmail.com. Call the voicemail 614-382-2737. That's 614-38-CAPES. And remember to follow Nightwing News on Facebook, Twitter. Follow all of that, all of the Capes and Lunatics stuff, all in one convenient place. That's Linktree, linktr.ee/Capes and Lunatics. And remember to support our sponsors, Tweaked Audio, Hunt a Killer, Pod Life, the book, now in digital paperback, Volume 1. Because Volume 2 is coming. Get it. And while you are shopping for fine literature, pick up Dick Grayson, Boy Wonder. You're obviously a fan of Nightwing, so you're obviously a fan of great fictional heroes. So yes, pick up Dick Grayson, Boy Wonder. Again, written by an artist. What's the difference between an artist and a mad woman? I don't know, not much, but pick up Dick Grayson, Boy Wonder. And when you pick up all of that on Amazon, because you know you will, use the Southgate Media Group link right down there in the show notes. So, help support the show, the company, and Rob. Speaking of mad people, Rob Masterdoom Southgate.
I'm here for Peter.
Oh, that's Lilith Hellfire. Another mad woman, but no, here's Rob.
Go back and look at my history, and you will find out I am right so much more often than I'm wrong. Mark my words.
And Kristen, you don't get any plugs.
No.
No, I'm kidding. Pick up her book. It is good. A bunch of people, including some professionals, talking all about Dick Grayson.
Right. It was a group effort.
That's right.
I just wrangled everyone together.
You wrote something for it, too.
I did, yeah. I herded the cats.
Wow.
As
All
they
right.
say.
All right, everyone. Again, come back next time. Batman Gotham Knights 8 through 11. It's a good one. Dick takes a header off a building. Can't wait. Yes, lots of Gotham Knights. Outsiders are coming. Maybe a talk with Devin Grayson. We shall see. All right. But until next week, remember, join us then. Same wing time.
Same wing channel.
Nightwing News. Keep flying, Graysons.